Now, we were talking about hand-me-down recipes. This is the chef. This is the guy who prepares this stuff. Joe and I just kind of are along for the ride. You know, I asked him about sauce recipes, and do people actually make sauce from scratch these days? And Frank says that they do. But what Joe talked about on the program is how his mother did it in a lot quicker time than a lot of people back in the day before microwaves, and how they would make the process, you know, the sauce would simmer 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. But you don't even need to do that today. Even if you're not using the microwave, you can actually get it done and you can have the same success making sauce from scratch from those recipes that have been handed down for generations. Right, Frank?
Well, yeah, the way my nana did it is the way the process is in the canning industry now. So that process is actually skipped over at home. A lot of times you're buying the can. So where she was doing the chunky, where she just took off the skin, that's your crushed tomatoes. When she was going through the strainer, that was your puree. And then she would also make her, I remember my dad telling me, she would also make her own paste in the backyard and scrape it off. So she did it the quick way, most effective way, and the most delicious way, quite honestly, because she didn't lose anything in the process. You controlled the whole thing. And that's a perfect hand-me-down if you're able to take that amount of time. And there's cooks out there that do. They have pride in what they do, and you get a little more sense of pride when you went from the whole process and nothing that was literally homemade. Nothing there was made outside of your house, and that's complete control. If you don't have that kind of time, when most of us really, time is tight, but you can still make a really quick sauce by getting your crushed tomatoes, your tomato purees. And those are the items to use. Sometimes people get confused between crushed tomatoes, purees, the strained tomatoes, diced tomatoes. Which one do I use for sauce? Well, those are the two that my nana would always use, and then the paste was always for thickening. And then you put your seasonings in there. A quick sauce for me was crushed tomatoes, salt, pepper, oregano, and just fried onion. I'd fry up some onions and put them in there, and that's what I learned from my mom. You know, my recipes I use for home are passed down from my mom.
Got to tell you something, whenever I would come home and see a can of Kdka out on the counter, I knew it was going to be a good night. Hey folks, don't forget the Kuhn'S Cooking Hour every single Sunday from 8 until 9 on Kdka Radio with Frank and Joe Dentisi. Good morning. Thanks, guys.